A few months back, I watched a film called Lock for the first time. It was interesting because I thought Tom Hardy gave an impressive performance, even while the film was mostly centered around him being in a car. But after years of speculation, rumors, and failed attempts at launching a movie universe centered around Peter Parker's world, Sony announced that a solo film centered around Eddie Brock, aka Venom, will be released in 8 months from today. Sony's failure with films that aren't Baby Driver or Spider-Man Homecoming, combined with their repeated delaying of films we actually want to see, has caused reasonable concern and backlash amongst fans. The biggest surprise came when it was announced that Tom Hardy would be playing the infamous Venom. Needless to say, Tom Hardy is a big deal. The guy can fucking act. As he's known for his villain roles, Bane being his most recognized, and his stature, his screen presence is hard to ignore. With films like Bronson, Warrior, The Revenant, and a few others on his filmography, most, including myself, wondered how Sony managed to get Tom to sign on for the film. Beyond this reasonable cause for concern, the other issue is that since Spider-Man was launched in the MCU officially, many can't seem to understand why Sony won't just include Venom in their shared Spider-Man films in the MCU. While this is a bit selfish considering the fact that Spider-Man only has one full-length MCU movie at the moment, and given the fact that Sony still has primary control of the character, I can understand why most would want to see Spidey and Venom going at it. Plus, Tom Hardy versus Tom Holland is something I wouldn't mind seeing. However, Amy Pascal's big-ass mouth shocked us and Kevin Feige last year when she announced that these films would coexist in the same universe. And to add fuel to the fire, a lotion to the sausage, there have been rumors suggesting that Tom Holland would in fact appear as Peter Parker, but not as Spider-Man in the movie. But somehow, Sony has faith that this Spider-Man spin-off universe is going to succeed. Because following Venom, there will later be a film centered around Black Cat and Silver Sable, which is also said to include Mysterio and Chameleon. See, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Sony doing this, because competition is good. But looking at things from a different perspective, diehards and fans of Spider-Man's lore would be more than ready to see a film just as much with these characters if Spider-Man was included, namely the Venom movie. And Sony tried to jumpstart a similar universe when the Amazing Spider-Man series was still around, only they had a whole shit ton of spin-offs planned back then. And it is admittedly hard to see the appeal of a Black Cat and Silver Sable film, even if they cast total babes to play the latter. Having said all this, I do sincerely hope we are all proven wrong. And I hope that Venom turns out to be a good idea rather than what we are all fearing it will be. Because aside from Tom Hardy being cast, the movie also has some strong supporting actors in Riz Ahmed and Michelle Williams. It's going to be interesting to see how Tom ends up playing Venom because he is also doing the mocap, that is, motion capture for the character. And aside from this, the movie does have the director of Zombieland at the helm. Venom being rated R shouldn't be too much of a concern. However, if Cletus Cassidy shows up or is in future films, I'd imagine Sony and the MPAA would be leaning towards the film having a hard R rating. And Fox has shown twice now that a comic book movie can have an R rating and even garner an Oscar nomination. However, even with the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad, that film too showed even with the PG-13 rating and shitty reviews, a movie like that can too be a success in terms of finances at least. For Venom, I personally hope the film isn't too long and is able to stay true to source material, especially if they plan to do sequels. Venom Lethal Protector is one of the series cited as being inspiration for the film, but even still, it's tough to say what all we'll end up seeing in the movie. Production is done, and Venom is set to release this year. And even with the understandable negative backlash, I'd say Venom has all the key components to surprise us all. It's easy to say the movie is going to be a turd fest, but this is the first film that has caused me to be both worried and excited all in the same sentence.